Right, hello. Welcome back to the TNC podcast, week 23.
How are you keeping up with this, Jack?
Don't know. Might be wrong.
23.
We're back from the Midlands.
We are. We're tired.
We are tired. It literally
Slightly
feels like we've
depressed.
just got back. This championship routine is rigorous.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? It's a test, and I think it's. I still think we can be promoted. I really do.
I mean, put it in their early doors. If you wonder why we look like
Legends.
won't go that far. We're matching.
We are.
Is that a good look or not?
I don't know. We'll let you guys decide.
Anyway,
you like the look.
This logo, you've probably seen it on the intro and the outro, Protrition, one of our sponsors, one of our very good sponsors. If you want to check them out, links in the description. Basically, they provide healthy meals that Chris consumes every week. So we do actually use them. They are very good, aren't they?
Perfect for every day. Fitness, business, busyness, convenience, community, great taste, lifestyle, nutrition, Protrition.
So if you want to check them out, links in the description. Big up for them.
Oh, actually, am I allowed to... Actually, I'm probably not allowed to say that. Never mind.
No? Say it.
I've got a discount code.
Oh, yeah, you have.
Yeah.
Reeve10.
Reeve10.
We'll put that in the description as well.
Yeah.
Nice one. So if you do want them and you want discount, use that discount code. Anyway, enough plugs. Let's get into it. Villa, 4-2 defeat.
Yeah. Still angry.
Yeah.
I must admit, I watched back my own fan cam, and sometimes I do it and I think, did I kind of go in a bit too hard? But I watched it back and I honestly just thought, actually, you know what? There's nothing that I think actually that was too harsh. I thought, honestly, everything was fine.
I mean, it was interesting because I couldn't face watching the highlights yesterday, so I watched them today, and we looked even worse defensively than I thought on the day.
It was just the first.
The first goal, I was like, that was just a decent goal. We were abysmal.
No, it was awful.
It was dreadful.
It was bad, and even we've had a bad day when Harry Reid had a bad day. You know it's definitely a bad day at that point.
I didn't think he was too bad. I mean, he gave the ball away for the first goal, didn't he? But at the same time,
mate,
he beat Husband far too easily, and Russ was in no man's land. There was maybe arguments that Angus could have communicated that Russ had two men behind him, but Russ was just like...
Seriously, for me, Husband's out. Husband's out for Saturday against Millwall, mate.
I mean...
I don't trust him at the moment. I think he might need to maybe settle into the squad, play a few cup games first. Personally, for me, I'd put Yannick there.
At left back?
Yeah.
Really?
Mate, honestly, anyone apart from Husband.
That was what I was going to ask. Like, I'm not convinced with Husband. I suppose the tough thing is, he's a new player. We're, 4 games in? How long do you give him? Because let's not forget, Nelson Oliveira was crap when we first signed him.
Oh, I completely disagree with you.
No, he was bad when we first signed him.
Okay, fine. I disagree.
But I suppose the question still stands. How long do you give a player before you're like, I just can't deal with this anymore?
I do think we need to give Husband the benefit of the doubt, and I do think we need to give Husband probably 5 or 6 more games, i.e. 90-minute games, to say, no, you know what, I am good enough. But early signs suggest that is not the case.
I mean, the problem is as well is, who else do you play there? I mean, Yannick there would be carnage, because he's a more right-sided player, isn't he? Toffolo, possibly, but he's had a sort of a dodgy injury. Jamal Lewis is out for 4 months, which is a real shame. Stiepermann is the other option. What did you think of him on Saturday?
I thought Stiepermann was pretty poor, to be fair. He did okay. Again, he didn't have a lot of the ball, but there was just far too many players just floating around, Jack. That was the problem. The midfield did not exist.
Is that what we're going to have to get used to, though? This kind of floating?
No, it's not.
No?
Because Farke will learn that he cannot have that many players just floating around the midfield. You need to have some more structure to it.
I mean, Farke said we were disappointed with our first half performance, but he did say that he wasn't too unimpressed with the second half.
Yeah.
I thought we were awful once again in the second half.
I think it's a bit harsh. I thought we were all right, Jack. I don't think we were amazing, and I don't think we were shocking. I thought we got terribly unlucky with both of our goals conceded.
Yeah,
a deflection and one that should have been a handball.
Let's not forget they hit the crossbar. They should have had a couple of...
Yeah, but Angus had that covered, mate, so it's fine.
Okay. But I suppose we've got Charlton, which we'll talk about in a minute, tonight when you're watching this, or maybe after, because this is going to go up quite near the game, so if you haven't watched it, apologies if we're repeating some things that aren't relevant anymore. But we've got another big week. We've got a cup game that Farke is clearly prioritising as a big thing, which is good, I suppose, in some instances. And then a huge game on Saturday against Millwall, which on paper we should really be winning, but Millwall are up against it. They haven't won this season, and if we lose there or don't get a win, it's not ideal, is it?
No, I mean, I did tweet after the game on Saturday. I do think the pressure is on. I'm not being around the bush. I really do think it is, because the players have this kind of new oomph about them. It's a new season. It's a new squad. There's some new ideas. There's a new philosophy. There's renewed optimism. Now, the more we fuck up, excuse my French, the more that optimism is going to be dented. And me and you both know, Jack, that it doesn't take too much for Norwich fans to be negative.
I mean, it is a really tough kind of balance, because it is a results business, and we're already 8 points behind Ipswich and Cardiff at the top of the table. Which I know it, at this point of the season, it doesn't matter too much where you are on the table. Villa were bottom on Saturday.
Is it just because Ipswich are above us?
No, not at all. I'm just saying that I wouldn't look at the table too much at the moment, but at the same time, if you are suddenly 5, 6, 7, 8 games in and you've maybe won 2 or 3, I'm probably one of the most patient, or want to be the most patient football fan under Daniel Farke or Stuart Webber, because I fully believe in it. It's going to be tough. I'm not saying I want Farke out or anything, not at all. But naturally, as a football fan, you do want to see results on the board.
Of course you do, Jack. But we had actually, you know what? An interesting point was what we mentioned in the car on the way back home, which was, if we win every single home game, and you said it, Jack, on paper, we should beat every single team in the league at home. And if we do that, we'll probably end up in and around the playoffs, right? So if we just pick up a few points away from home, maybe on another day when we'd played Villa, we would have luckily got a point.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have had that decision go against us. I think that's going to happen this season. I'm not saying we're going to win every single game at home. I'm saying that as long as we make Carrow the fortress, let's be patient. I think the reason why I was so angry on Saturday was a mixture of the decision and just the blatancy of just how it was a bad team selection.
Because Daniel Farke said in his press conference today, before the pre-Charlton press conference, that don't blame his players, blame him fully for what we saw at Villa. And I think that's kind of understandable, because the team on Wednesday against QPR...
I don't think it's understandable.
Okay, so the team against QPR he put out was brilliant. It won against a good QPR team.
Very, very good.
And then he changed it so much. And I think Farke's right in saying, don't blame these players, don't blame the likes of Harrison Reed. They're youngsters, they've got a lot of pressure on them, they've got a lot of big injuries. Blame me, I got it wrong. I think he knows he got it wrong. And I think that's good that he's fronting up to their mistakes. Yeah.
On the other hand, there's a few of the old guard out there. Russ was a culprit against Aston Villa. You know, Cameron Jerome didn't really bring much. He didn't get much, but he didn't bring much. I'm going to say it. I'm going to say Stephen Naismith bought absolutely jack shit, Jack.
I mean, let's stay with Stephen Naismith. I'm going to get to one of your guys' questions super early. Now, Will, he sent a few questions in, but one of his questions was, should Stephen Naismith play up front or not at all?
For me, I agree with that. I agree that if he is going to play, he needs to play up front, because that's his position.
Yeah.
That's where he made his career at Everton. That's what he was renowned for. And let's not forget, Jack, that's why we initially signed Stephen Naismith. We were in the Premier League and we bought him to get goals, not be a leader in the changing room, not do this, do that. And I know a lot of people say, what's the difference between Russ and Naismith? Well, the difference is Russ has been at the club a hell of a lot longer and is on bugger all wages compared to Stephen Naismith. And the other thing to bear in mind, Jack, as well, I don't know the exact wages, I'm not going to pretend, but you'd probably guess that he is on a lot more money than a lot of the other players who are better than him and will outperform him in his position in midfield.
I think, he's definitely not a midfielder. We know that already.
I think he can be useful. I want him to do well. I really do. But I think that's a fantastic question, Jack. If we are to play Naismith and he is to do well for us, and traditionally, if you look back in the games where he has done well for us, he's been tucked behind the striker, but I mean tucked. Not sitting in central midfield. No need for that.
Yeah, he's not a central midfield. We know that already. I think Farke probably understands that. It was like when we played Stephen Whittaker as central midfield. It just doesn't work.
Agreed.
But I don't
Love
see...
Stevie Witts, though.
I don't see Stephen Naismith as a striker, an out-and-out striker. He's not that. I know he played there sometimes at Everton and had a bit of joy, but I don't see him as a striker.
What do you mean sometimes? He played up front for Everton, Jack. Jack, he played up front for Everton.
Not
Jack, he did not play in midfield for Everton.
No, I'm not saying he was more of a number 10.
Yeah.
Or played...
Or it seems
that Farke, especially in pre-season, Naismith pretty much played every game. He captained a few of the games, was playing in a more kind of left wing role almost, where Wes was pushed out on occasion. But I think we've got better players in the wingers role, so I guess it's going to be tough.
You're suggesting we play Naismith on the wing?
No,
you've lost the plot.
No,
son.
I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying we've got better players there.
Yeah.
I think we've got better players in the number 10, and I don't think he's a striker. So where do you play him? Or as you've said, is he just an expensive luxury?
He is. I said it since the back end of last season, and I'll continue to say it. And that's why I said I'll buy everyone a beer if Stephen Naismith scored against Aston Villa.
Yeah. You should have bought him a beer if he just completed a pass. That would have been nice enough. Let's talk about Cameron Jerome as well. He's come under a lot of stick over the past sort of 3-4 games, and probably justified on occasion. He was poor at the weekend, wasn't he?
I thought he was as poor as everyone else. I think, in fact, he did not get anything. Did he have a single chance to shoot?
The thing for me is...
Did he have a single chance to shoot, Jack?
Yes, he did.
Did he?
One-on-one, and he screwed it up.
Forgive me. One chance. But we all know, even you guys now, because I've said it so many blooming times, Cameron Jerome needs 5 or 6 chances to put the ball in there. Nels needs 1 or even nothing, because he'll just make something out of it.
I think the thing with Jerome and the real value he's brought in previous seasons is Jerome will create something out of nothing.
Yes, agreed. But he has to play. But then he has to play with someone with him.
But he hasn't. Well, the last time, I suppose, maybe he played with Hooper and Graven in that kind of last championship season. But even still, I've seen Cameron Jerome as a single striker do a lot of damage on his own in terms of just putting defenders under pressure and creating something out of nothing. He hasn't done that so far. When Jerome gets the service, he'll deliver, Jack. I do think he'll deliver. I still think he'll be a useful player for us this season.
He will still deliver between 12 to 15 goals minimum. He will. It's just the fact that Aston Villa was such a bad game and they outrun us in midfield. If the midfield was there, Cam Jam would have scored. He would have scored.
I mean, positives from Villa though.
Yeah.
We touched on it very briefly. Angus
Gunn, 2. Yeah.
And Josh Murphy.
Correct.
Which is very exciting.
So exciting. And I think it's a real shame because, I don't know, there's obviously every single bone in my body wants Angus to do well. And when you concede 4 goals, but you still look at Angus and think, yeah, you know what? He was the man of the match. Yeah, I think, I can't remember who said it, whether it was you. No, it was Rob Butler said after the game, says, but Chris, you don't want your goalkeeper to be the man of the match.
No.
You don't want him to be the best player in your team. And, so I'm buzzing that Angus is, and by the way, he was a monkey, wasn't he? He was making some awesome saves. I've got, you know what? My only ever thing was I was always a bit nervous for Angus just because it was his first time in the senior team. But honestly, he looks so comfortable. He looks so confident.
Yeah,
I'm already trusting him.
Yeah,
the way he came out for those 1-to-1s, he looked as good as John Ruddy in his prime.
No, definitely, and he looks very commanding as well.
Yeah.
I guess the worrying thing though is in terms of a defensive standpoint is Angus. I don't think he's had a bad game so far. I think he's maybe that Swindon game he would have probably been disappointed to concede a couple of them goals, but on the whole he's been excellent.
Yes.
Yet we've still leaked an average of about 3 goals a game.
I think everyone is mature enough to know that it's not Angus's fault.
No, I know, but that in terms of a defensive standpoint, is a worry.
Yeah, and I mean, imagine if we'd had McGovern in goal. I mean, no disrespect to Mickey McGovern, but
you've just disrespected Mickey McGovern.
I have. I'm sorry. I just think look, Angus is a cracking keeper. I'm buzzing he's here. I'm buzzing he's making some big saves for us. Once he has got a stable back four in front of him, he'll smash it.
What is that Sale back for? Because it looks like Zimmerman and Farke are slowly getting there.
They will.
Stand-up performances. We missed Pinto big time at the weekend.
Hugely, mate. Hugely.
So you've got, if you're playing a back four, you've got 3 players there pretty much.
Yeah.
The interesting thing now is Tim Close is probably going to be fit for this Saturday. Does Tim Close come back in?
No.
Who do you play at left back?
Mate.
Which we've come back to.
Can you actually play Yannick at left back?
I wouldn't. I mean, you could.
Hang on, did he play? Sorry, forgive me for not knowing. So he played it right back?
Yeah.
But not left back?
Yeah.
And Toffolo's injured?
Back. Well, Toffolo's coming back to fitness, but I think it'd be too early doors for him to come into the first team.
I don't want Husband to start against Millwall.
Or do you?
He's been weak. He's been weak.
The thing is, though, is if
second best to everything, mate, and
you feel against Millwall, he's going to have a slightly easier day. If he puts in a great shift against Millwall, I know this is a risk.
Wrong attitude.
No. If he puts in a great shift against Millwall, and that could be the building blocks to build on. If he doesn't, then you do have to question it. But I'm just in this moment.
Are you giving Husband another chance?
At the end of the day, we're 3-4 games in. I think it'd be too early to write someone off completely. I'm not convinced with Husband. I must admit, I'm not. But at the same time, you've got to give people a chance.
We've watched him in 3 games so far this season.
4 I've seen him, but
okay.
Yeah.
Has he had a game where you thought he was 8 out of 10?
He looked okay against QPR.
He looked okay.
Yeah, well, we kept the clean sheet. That's all you asked for. And why was that though? Because
even in that game,
but
Jack,
against QPR, he did look a lot better to his other performances, which isn't hard. Was there anything different in front of him which maybe made his life a little bit easier?
Yeah, 100%. The midfield was a hell of a lot more solid. A hell of a lot more.
Yeah, I suppose
I think the Zim and Frank will be fine. I think they'll grow into it, and you can already see that they do look like they've got quite a solid foundation. And I love the fact that Zimmerman wins everything in the air.
He didn't at the weekend.
Okay, apart from at the weekend, but normally he's up for everything. So much so that sometimes Angus doesn't come out because he knows the Zim is there. And I think we've got quite a nice foundation there for something quite solid, but safe in the back of your mind, you've got Timmy Close that can step in there and he'll put them under pressure. And a part of me kind of does want Timmy to break in again. But I don't know, we'll see. That left back is an issue.
Yeah.
It's a gaping hole in our defence. It really is.
A question that has also come up is do we need to strengthen any more? And I think we possibly do need another left back. I don't know. I'm not sure. Well, the other option is, do you go 5 at the back, put Yannick at right or Pinto at right wing back, Close, Zimmerman and Franke at centre back, and then maybe a Stiepermann at left wing back?
Or maybe we're going to play Stiepermann at left back. We don't know. We know nothing.
I mean, look, it's all early doors. Let's look to Charlton then.
Yep.
Carabao Cup.
Yep. What a name.
Have you seen that they're doing the 3rd round draw at 4:15 in the morning? They don't help themselves.
No, they don't. I want us to do well in the cup, but it's so tin pot, isn't it?
Yeah.
It couldn't be more.
It's a shame because the league. I can remember growing up. The League Cup was a great trophy.
Do you?
Well, better than it bloody is now.
What year were you born in?
97.
It's always been shite, mate.
But it's better than bloody 4:15.
The FA Cup is where it's at.
Oh, definitely. But it's a shame that the League Cup is quickly becoming as tin pot as the Checkatrade Trophy.
If we win the
That's
League
very
Cup,
hard. We get into Europe, and we are going on a European tour.
Okay. By the way, I love how Farke is really up for the Cups.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because against Swindon, he pretty much played a first team, and I looked at that and went, although I love this could be risky. Just because...
It could be Cambridge all over again.
It could be.
Yeah.
And you don't want... It's tough because we've had so many managers in previous years that just haven't taken the cup seriously. You're like, well, take the cup seriously. We want a cup run. Yeah. And then we finally got a manager who does take it seriously. Now you're like, shit, I don't want to be in.
To be fair, I'm comfortable and confident. And I think that we can use it as game time. And I said it to you after the Villa game. Play the exact same team against Charlton.
Not the Villa team, surely.
Yeah.
What, Stevie Naismith?
Yeah.
Why?
Because he needs game time, mate. He needs to practice playing
not
football.
In midfield.
He needs to practice playing football.
Mate.
At home against Charlton. No. I'll tell you why. This is a test. Play Naismith in centre midfield against Charlton in the League Cup. and see if he delivers. Okay? And
Or
if he delivers, then you can say, actually, you know what? He has got the potential to do okay. But if he doesn't, that's got to be it. You've got to draw a line under it, because that's now 3 games.
Yeah, that's a...
We can't... I don't want... Right, Wes isn't fully fit. He might be, but I wouldn't risk Wes in the League Cup this early on. He can't hack it, and I love him too much. Yeah. And I also love Maddison way too much for him to play in the Cup as well, although he might want to.
I think, we're going to see... I think Maddison will definitely feature.
Okay.
And I wouldn't be surprised if Wes did as well. Because I can't see Millwall away being the game for Wes to really...
Disagree completely. Tore them apart.
True.
He's torn them apart so many times, Jack, and he will do it again when we go.
I've seen so many formations and so many players under Farke. I'm in a very confused state of mind.
This is why he has to keep it consistent. I know it sounds strange me saying the team selection was shambolic against Villa, but no disrespect to Charlton, but I am about to disrespect you. At home to Charlton, you would expect, like Daniel Farke took the blame for Aston Villa, and fair play, that's a good thing for him to do as the manager. It's very responsible, it shows good leadership skills. However, he's wrong. The players that were played against Aston Villa have all got the ability to deliver, all of them, and they all should have done better. So for me, stick with the same team, let them have game time, and tell you someone who does need game time is Mario Vrancic, Jack.
Yeah.
He struggled, but for me, he didn't really connect the pass together. Look, we need this game against Charlton. I hope we play the same team.
Vrancic is a strange one because he looked probably one of our best players in pre-season. Against Fulham, he was woeful. Against Sunderland, did he play against Sunderland? He did, didn't he? I can't remember. But the only good game I've seen him in competitive football has been QPR, when I thought he was excellent.
Yep.
And I was like, okay, this is the Vrancic that I fell in love with in pre-season. And then once again, at Villa, he was just awful. He was off the pace.
Jack,
didn't connect the pass.
The whole German Revolution is a lottery.
Yeah.
It is a lottery. We want Zimmerman to be the leader, the new big man at the back, but sometimes he is probably going to play quite sharp. Okay? Frank is probably going to trip over his shoelaces a couple of times, Vrancic is just going to fall over.
His hair is lovely, though.
Husband is going to completely miss the man, fall over his own feet, and will concede.
We've seen that already.
Look, we are going to make some mistakes this season. We're all in this together. I know there's people moaning already, but for me, on reflection after Aston Villa, just stick with it. I have got every faith that we will win against Millwall at the weekend. I really do. I do think the pressure's on, but I think the players will thrive under that, and I think that Daniel Farke will play a bloody brilliant team.
So, Millwall at the weekend, and I suppose this also links in with the Charlton game. Nelson Oliveira came off the bench, scored a goal. That's now quite a few goals already this season. He's been brilliant. He's been our standout man, but groin injury. Apparently, he's going to rule him definitely out of the Charlton game, and possibly for Millwall. What do you make of it?
I do think they're trying to protect him. I want to think that anyway. There is something inside of me that says, what's going on?
There's something about a bit fishy. I don't want to make rumours out of this. I don't think he's leaving.
He's not going.
Let's rule that out of the equation straight off the bat. I don't think he's leaving. He looks happy at Norwich, and I think
he said he's happy in the
press.
press.
No, he did. I don't buy into this injury. If Farke would have come out and said,
do you need to feel his groin, Jack, and just make sure it's all?
Well, that would be. I mean, I wouldn't turn it down. But all I'm saying is, if Oliveira is injured, right, and a groin injury, which is a nasty muscle to pull, or at least be tight, you're not bringing him on at 3-1 down in the 70th minute against Fit. It's just not happening. If he's injured, he's injured. You're not bringing him on. And then I thought, I just don't get it.
Look, let's deal with the facts. Okay, the fact is, we could play him against Millwall because he's not playing against Charlton.
Yeah,
fact.
Yeah,
right. Yeah, fact.
I don't know.
Unless he somehow magically gets worse, which is impossible considering that he's going to miss the Charlton game.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fact number 2: come on against Aston Villa. First thing he does, with his first touch, turns on the ball, faces goal, tries chipping the goalkeeper, hits the roof of the net.
Yeah.
Fact number 3, his second touch, he puts in the back of the net. You've got to play your best team, Jack. Now, if that means you're going to risk a player getting more injured, I'm sorry, we need the points. And quite frankly, Nelson's our star man. It's like if Aguero's got a knock in the Premier League, you're not going to keep him off the bench because he's Sergio Aguero. Now, I'm not saying Nelson Oliveira is anywhere near as good as Sergio Aguero, but he is our Sergio Aguero. He brings a presence, and by the way, you see him warm up and the fans all of a sudden start chanting, and he just brings so much to not just the team, but the whole soul of this club. He's just such an important figure for us. You've got to, I tell you what, Jack, I will accept him not starting against Millwall as long as we play Maddison and Wes in midfield.
Okay.
Because then Maddison and Wes in midfield will 100% give Cameron Jerome all of the ammunition you need. There you go, Cam, miss that. There you go, Cam, miss that. There you go, Cam, miss that. There you go, Cam, scores.
Right.
That's fine. But I will be so angry again if we play Naismith in centre midfield and Cameron Jerome up front against Millwall, because it will not work.
Yeah.
It will not work. Nelson has got to start against Millwall for me.
I'm getting to these questions early, but there's so many good questions this week. And someone asked...
Thanks for the questions, by the way, guys, because we do really appreciate them, don't we?
Find whose name this
Yeah,
was.
hello?
No, I can't find the name. But someone asked, do you think Daniel Farke is using Nelson Oliveira as a home striker and Cameron Jerome as an away striker? Because that's the way it's been so far.
Yeah, nah, you can't read anything into that. You
No.
can't. At the end of the day, we've been playing Jerome because Nelson's been injured, hasn't he? That's why he's played Jerome, apart from when he kicked up a fuss and Nelson deserved to sit out as a disciplinary.
It's just a strange one because...
It could happen like that. It could happen like that. But for me, Nelson's just as potent away from home.
Yeah, well, yeah, he's proven that. The
Evidently.
stats don't lie, do they? So, going down to Millwall,
Yep.
I think they're currently second from bottom.
Yep.
2 draws and the rest losses so far. They
Yep.
haven't had the ideal start to the season. Although, on the whole, they've actually played some decent football. I know a Millwall fan, and he hasn't been... He feels like Millwall have been a bit unlucky on times.
Yep.
It's going to be a tough
I
test.
Millwall. I think Millwall are a proper football club, aren't they?
Especially at home.
Proper stadium, fans are well known at least, I think Millwall will aim to frustrate the shit out of us.
Steve Morrison
I
as
really
well.
do. Oh, by the way, Stevie Morrison. Oh God,
I love Morrison at Norwich.
He's going to score, isn't he?
Yeah.
You know what? I was a big fan of Morrow.
He was a good striker in the Premier League.
Morrison.
Didn't he score like 6 games in a row in the Premier League? That's a
He,
decent effort.
you just remember him scoring against Arsenal, don't you? And,
Nah.
then he set out that weird greyhound thing with Grant Holt, which no
Yeah.
one really understood.
Yeah, one of my favourite Steve Morrison goals was that header against Sunderland at home. It was
Okay.
one of our first games back in the Premier League. I think it was it was our first home game under the lights.
Yeah.
It was a special atmosphere that night.
As always, under the lights.
Leon Barnett scored,
Oh, Leon B.
and then Stevie Morrison, poof, back of the net. I love that.
You know
goal.
what? By the way, he's done so well for Millwall.
Yeah, he has.
Every single Millwall fan, if you're listening to this now, you'll comment below saying how much of a
2-0.
ledge that Steve Morrison is. Anyway,
Yeah.
Millwall will play to frustrate us.
Yeah.
They will sit back in the first half, and therefore we've got to score, and that we should be aiming to score as soon as possible in the first half, more so than ever before.
You do feel it was the same under Alex Neil. It was the same under Alan Irvine. I think it's the same for most football teams. You just feel like if we score first, we're going to win the game.
Yes.
If we concede first, although I've still got a lot of faith in this Norwich team, but it just makes it so tough.
And look, if we concede against Millwall first, I still do think we'll get a point out of it, absolute minimum. I do, because I don't think they'll be. Millwall they're going to have to park the bus against us because they haven't got the talent. They haven't. But then again, I said this against Burton.
It was a different situation back then.
I know.
Millwall, look, they're in this league, and I think they will survive this season. But they are a team that is simply in this league to try and survive. They're not going for the playoffs. They might get mid-table. I ranked Millwall to stay up this season. I think they will be a tough test.
Yeah.
But there is no excuse whatsoever for us.
None at all.
We've got to beat them.
Yeah,
We've got to beat
end
them.
of, got to.
Right, okay, let's move on from that. Hype of the week. And I've put here in capital letters, no Maddison, because he didn't feature.
Have I said it like 4 times in a row now?
Yes.
I actually can't
To
say.
be fair though, did you see it was Remy? Do you follow Remy Matthews on Instagram? So Remy Matthews on his Instagram story, Maddison was in on the Sunday training, I think on his own.
Yes.
He was dumbbell bench pressing.
Yeah, good boy.
25s as well, which for a lad that small, I thought that was pretty decent.
Yeah, I won't say what I do, but it's decent.
He's a small lad.
Yeah. He's getting there, isn't he? No, he's a legend.
Maybe if we give him a Pro-Nutrition t-shirt,
Pro-Nutrition,
Madison, get on the 30s.
Get on it. There are some players at the club using
we won't
Pro-Nutrition.
mention who, though.
Right, so no Madison. Strange after conceding 4, but Angus Gunn, he's just been monumental.
He cares as well, doesn't he? And I love seeing players that care.
And as well, I think something that's really important, and this is going to sound a bit strange, but bear with me.
Right.
When players come up to you at the end of the game, when they clap, there's a difference between what I call a footballer clap and I really appreciate your support clap. Okay, Angus makes eye contact, gave me the thumbs up, which I appreciate. Cheers, Angus. And look, I just think that's really important, that connection with the fans. You can see he really cares. And, he was saying to me after the game, I'm just absolutely gutted. So
you can tell.
me saving, me making all these saves, it basically doesn't mean anything.
No, of course not.
Unless you get the points.
You know what I love as well from footballers at the end of the game? Okay. When they give the hands up and be like, I'm sorry, lads.
Yeah, no, I like that.
It's kind of the...
Yeah, I like that.
And it's the eyes as well as the... Sorry, lads. Yeah. I love that.
And another thing as well is coming close to the fans.
Yeah.
You can tell the player...
Come and embrace us.
Yeah. I did notice, look, I'm not going to set my pitchforks against Cam Jam, but he went straight down the tunnel.
Let's not read into that too much, but players...
I think they'll get better at that this season.
Yeah, definitely. And it obviously makes it a lot easier when we win. Yeah. My hype of the week, the curry.
Yeah, the curry was great. The vibe was great.
Now also, Big Dave in the back seat, he was an absolute gem on that drive.
Yeah, well played, Big Dave.
That man knows the whole British road system.
What is his Twitter? Should we give him a shout out?
David _11 is it or something?
You talk, I'll find out.
Yeah, Big Dave, that man. And there was also a lot of controversy in the comment section regarding the best service station.
Right. If you want a Norwich fan, take on your away days. It is at David _NCFC11. This man took he actually wrote on a sign at the darts saying "Kneel out," and it was published live on television. Yeah. David Giles, top boy.
Yeah.
Continue.
What was I saying?
Something useful.
Oh, apparently Weatherby is the best UK service station according to our followers.
We've done the service station chat.
It's an interesting chat. Moan of the week.
Oh God, people blaming Delia. Oh my God, it's doing my head in.
Is it?
It's really making me mad, mate.
Oh bloody hell!
No, seriously, Jack.
Yeah.
Someone legitimately behind us at the Aston Villa game when it's all Delia's fault. It's all Delia's fault. That's who it is.
Yeah, but
it's like that guy the other week. It's Delia's fault. She keeps taking off the top layer. Delia takes nothing out of this football club. Nothing.
What?
Not a penny. She hasn't got a penny. Well, she has got a penny.
She's got lots of pennies.
Quite a few pennies. But she hasn't got that many pennies. Hang on.
Compared to me and you,
she's got pennies.
A bloody lot of pennies.
She's got pennies, but not pounds. But anyway, Delia does absolutely everything for this football club. Delia was not playing left back where husband was playing and made that cock up. Delia was not Harrison Reed who gave the ball to their midfielder who then charged in and scored. Delia was not the linesman that gave that shocking decision against Aston Villa. You need to respect it. Look, where is she? Get the shrine up.
I'm just imagining Delia at left back.
Absolute scenes. Right.
Oh dear.
Delia is amazing.
She sold over 6 million copies of her cookbook. I mean, if you don't respect a woman for that, what are you going to respect a woman for?
I mean, I think she's a great... No, seriously. Please, that's my moan of the week. If the team does badly, why are you blaming Delia? It makes no sense.
Yeah, she's
you can blame Farke for putting the wrong team out, yes. You can blame Naismith for having another shocking game, yes. You can play husband for cocking up, yeah. You can
blame anyone you want.
Blame
me if you want.
You can't, Jack.
No.
We've got to keep our heads on. Don't blame Delia, guys. Come on. What's your moan of the week?
No, I was going to say, what we need to do is create a game of scapegoat bingo. So I would have thought, I don't know, but I reckon before he blamed Delia, that guy, I don't know who he is, but probably blamed Russ Martin first, then the officials,
yeah,
then Naismith,
yeah.
Then he's like, I've got no one else to blame. Delia's fault.
And you know what? Another moan of the week for me is...
You feel a bit negative this week.
Yeah, I know.
I can sense it.
I'm sorry. Another moan for me is people saying, oh, it's all right, Russ Martin's a nice guy. Oh, it's all right, Russ Martin's a nice guy.
We've said that probably. I've probably said that.
Look, Norwich City fans now know, it's blanket. Every single Norwich fan in the world knows that Russ Martin is a nice guy. When he cocks up, please be objective about it, okay? If he cocks up, it's because he's cocked up. You don't need to say, oh, it's all right, he's a nice guy. He's had a bad game. All of the Norwich players individually are probably nice guys. It's just frustrating me that people keep saying he's a nice guy.
I think that's one thing I want to address as well, is obviously we had Russ on the podcast, which was brilliant. One of my favourite videos we've ever made. And I guess...
You went in on him, by the way.
I wouldn't say I went in on it. Not at all.
You did.
I was honest
You
with
did.
him. I was honest with him.
No, you were honest, but you went in on him. What did you say, Jack?
I said I don't think he's necessarily good enough on it in every game.
No, you didn't.
What did I say?
You said, Jack Reeve, you said, Russell Martin is categorically not a championship defender.
I didn't say that.
Jack, I'm afraid to say you did.
At Villa?
Oh, yes, at Villa, yes. Oh, yes, at Villa.
I'd probably agree. I'd probably stand with that.
No,
not
mate,
for
no.
a club, not a top 6 championship club.
Harsh.
If he's got a very good defence around him and a good team around him, maybe.
The team
but
had a
no,
bad
the thing. Anyway, let me get back to my point. We had Russ on the podcast. You're probably you're not mates with Russ, are you? But you get on with him. You speak to him quite a bit.
Yeah.
I don't speak to Russ that much. I've spoken to him and I've messaged him, but I just want to say, with any player, no matter what the relationship I have with any of the players, I will be honest.
That's true. And actually, Rob Butler set us up for that, didn't he?
And Russ is honest as well.
Yeah.
He knows that
he's had a bad
when
game.
He's his biggest critic. He doesn't need to know off me, who plays five-a-side football once a week, that he's had a bad game. He knows it. Yeah.
And Rob said to... I think, no, this is quite an important thing for people to know that are listening and watching this. We will always be honest as possible.
Yeah,
and Rob Butler, teed us up at the weekend and went... Your buddy Russ, what are you going to say about him now? Well, he was shit, Rob. He was pretty bad. I didn't say shit on Radio Norfolk.
That would have been bad.
That would have been cut off. He was bad, but he knows he's bad, as you say. Yeah. And the only player that we will wash over and not be honest about is Angus, because he's an absolute boy. And Maddison. If Maddison has a bad game, he's not had a bad game.
You do realise when Angus has a stinker this season, I'm just going to be like, so Chris, what did you think of your mate Angus?
No. To be fair, Angus won't have a bad game, so it's fine.
Okay. Right, let's get into the questions then. Once again, you guys have gone in on Snapchat and Twitter. If we didn't answer, I'm sorry, but there's too many good ones this week.
Have we got our choose question of the week for free treats?
Not this week, maybe next week. Let's start with Wally, and he asks, do you have any other videos planned with Norwich players?
Is this guy's name Wally?
It was on Snapchat. I don't know if his name is actual.
Fair play, Wally.
Wally, hopefully, it's very... The good thing with Russ, and I think we both agreed on this, when you get to know football players on a more human level, you start to realise that, one, they're very media trained, so it's tough to get a decent answer out of them, and two, a lot of them just don't want to sit down and talk for an hour about football, and rightly so. Russ, on the other hand, was excellent. He gave us so much value. And I only want to create content on this channel that is going to bring you value rather than... If you want to see players chat media trained questions, go to the EDP, go to Radio Norfolk. They will do it better than us all the while. What we can do is bring a slightly different perspective. And it's a very rare thing that you get a player who can give you what you want. We've had opportunities in the past as film stuff for players that we've turned down because we don't think it's good enough. Russ was a very unique opportunity for us.
Yeah, and the thing is as well, is that yeah, it's an interesting one, isn't it? Because they've got to be, although you would think we just need to take any player possible, yeah, as you say, it would just be another Radio Norfolk or EDP. It's quite important.
And we're not slagging anyone off here.
No,
but they do that better than us.
We want to we want to ask them questions like, do you like broccoli and all this random stuff? Because that's what we want to ask questions that you guys want to send us, and therefore you get the most value out of it. So if we have a player on next, then it'll be a player that wants to do it, but can give us stuff that's not media trained. So
and the thing I really loved with Russ is that was planning for months, and we said from the outset we want to put across the Russ Martin that people don't really see, don't really know, but you know so well, and I've got to know so well. And I think we've done that really well. I think the opportunities will be limited with other players, but if something comes up, and once again, the club have to be happy with it, that's another stumbling block, possible stumbling block. It's a bold move from a club to give freedom to us to ask a player question. So fair play to the club, fair play to Russ for doing that. I'm sure there will be something that crops up.
I think guys, you should be a little bit excited because I don't think we are not going to have another player on. We will have another player on. We're probably going to have another player on before the end of this season.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Sam, should we go back in for Robert Snodgrass?
Fascinating one, this. I actually answered a question on my Twitter about this, Jack, just because it was just a fun question.
Okay.
I don't think he fits into this system,
no.
but but on the other hand, I was disappointed when he left. A lot of fans didn't get on with him because he gave the snake pit some jip. You know me, I love that passion. Anyone that cares that much, Jack. Anyone that cares that much about the football club. And by the way, what a fantastic free kick taker he was.
Great set.
Which arguably we've only just replaced in Madison and possibly Vrancic. For me, Snoddy won't come to us because we definitely won't pay his wages unless we offloaded Naismith. Oh, actually, another kind of add-on question which someone sent me is Naismith or Snodgrass?
Snodgrass.
100%.
I love Snodgrass, and he was one of my favourite players when he was here, but we're in a new regime.
Yeah, it just doesn't fit. It doesn't fit now. It's a shame, but no,
it was like them a couple of years where we were like, should we take Holty back?
Yeah.
Love Holty. Obviously much more influential.
Legends. I mean, I'm not saying Snodgrass isn't a legend, but yeah, Holty needed to stay a legend.
Yeah.
That whole kind of coming back thing. I've only really seen it work with Henry for Arsenal.
Yeah.
It's not really worked apart from that.
You're probably right. Now, this is definitely the most popular question of the week. So many people ask this, and I guess it's because of this kind of Nelson Oliveira groin injury. Do we need another striker?
It's a hard one because Nelson, if he gets to full fitness and is firing on full cylinders week in week out, we've got the best striker in the league. But, as you say, if he is injured and we've got Cam Jam, I'm not saying Cam Jam's not up to it. I just think that, in short, yes, I do think we need another striker. But I think it's going to have to be a striker on loan. And I think it's going to have to be a striker that's young and inexperienced and from a Premier League club. And therefore, are you really 100% going to... Because if you bring in a new striker, you need to know that he's going to deliver. There's been a few occasions where Norwich have brought in players on loan, hoping they're going to deliver, and they've just not delivered because the bottom line is, unless they're an actual player of our club, I don't know, there's just something that just eats away. We're in a lucky position with Angus that he was born here and he follows the club and he's loved the club and he's followed, TalkNorwichCity since he left, and, there's all of that stuff. But, yeah...
I think...
It's a hard one.
I think this striker thing is a fascinating thing.
Could we bring back Carlton Morris? Is that possible?
I don't think he's good enough, personally. He's out on loan now, anyway. I think... I look back to what was this last season we went up? 2014-15, when we had Graben, Hooper and Jerome. That was a very unique situation because all of them players that season chipped in with 10, maybe even 15 goals plus each. You very rarely see a team in the Championship where three strikers are all scoring goals on a regular basis. Fair play to Neil Adams and also Alex Neil that season for somehow rotating it and keeping it...
keeping everyone happy.
Keeping everyone happy, and that is the tough thing. We've got Nelson and we've got Jerome. If both of them stay fit, we're good. We're fine. But if Jerome gets injured or Nelson gets injured, which is possible because Nelson doesn't have the best track record for fitness, Jerome's getting on a little bit now... You're then down to one striker, and then that's when you face issues. But if you bring in a third striker, an out-and-out striker, you're going to want them to be a good one, aren't you? And if you bring in a third-choice striker who's going to be a good one, he's most likely going to be sitting on the bench a lot. A good striker isn't going to want to come to a club where he's sitting on the bench. He wants to be that main man. Nelson is our main man.
Yeah, I think everyone knows that as well, don't they?
And I think that Nelson and Jerome combo, if both fit, is a good one. But... And I think the ideal plan here is you've got Nelson as the main man, Jerome as the backup, and Marley Watkins as the man who kind of plays the cup games and maybe plays out on the wing. A bit of a versatile player. He'd done that at Barnsley, and I think that was why he was brought in.
Yeah.
I see Watkins doing that job well. Hasn't quite worked for him just yet, but we're very early doors. I think it'll click. I don't think we need another striker. I mean, the ideal situation is you go out and spunk 10 million on someone, but we don't have that money.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I think there's positions where we need strengthening more than the striking position, personally.
Agreed. And I think another kind of point to go against getting a new striker is the midfield should contribute more in terms of goals than they ever have done, because it's about possession, it's about the offence, it's about going forwards and driving forwards with the ball and creating opportunities. Players like Vrancic should be chipping in with goals this season. Yeah. Wes, being Wes, will just chip in with goals this season because he will. I think Maddison will score quite a few from free kicks this season. Murphy, I think Josh Murphy will score as many, if not more, than his brother last season. I do. You can already see it this season how much he wants it.
Yeah.
And I actually, you know what? I quite like it. I don't know. Jacob going so far, in my opinion, I think might have spurred Josh on even more.
Possibly.
He got the ball against Villa and he I'm off. Sod you lot, I'm off on my own. I like that.
I think the greatest compliment of any player is when the opposition team have to sub off the player that's marking him. They saw that Hutton was getting rinsed by Murphy every time. And I saw someone, an Aston Villa fan's tweet.
How is Hutton still playing for Aston Villa, by the way?
But to be fair to Hutton, he's actually been, from Villa fans, he's been decent for Villa the past season. What I was going to say was, though, I saw a Villa fan tweet that Murphy was the best winger they've seen there for a good couple of years. And I think his performance justified that. So Will asks, he's sent in quite a few questions this week. How long until we become a Premier League club again?
Thanks, Will. Thanks for sending in loads of questions. That's good. God, I would love to go up this season, of course. Something inside of me says that we're not ready for the Premier League. But I'm a Norwich fan. I love the club and I want us to do the best possible. My heart says it will take us probably a couple of seasons for us to be in the automatic, certainly. However, I do think we'll be in the playoffs this season. I really do think we'll be in the playoffs this season.
I'm naturally a bit of a dreamer. And we were saying, weren't we, going up to Villa, we were like, I don't get people who were going to Villa being like, we're going to lose. I went up to Villa knowing that we were probably going to lose. But I told myself, and I gave myself that thought that we're going to win. Because what's the point in supporting a football club? If you're just going to be like...
we're going to lose today.
What's the point? There's no fun in that. So, naturally, I've said from the start of the season, and I will stick to it, although I think I'm wrong, that we will go up automatically this season. From what I've seen, I couldn't be more far off. But, so that's my heart speaking.
On a serious note, you should get a bet on that.
I'm a dreamer. I'm a dreamer.
Sign up to Leo Vegas and get a bet on it, mate. Stick a cheeky fiver on it.
Yeah. Head says...
Leo Vegas, £5 Norwich to win the league. Heart says
£10 Norwich to win the league. Heart says we're going to go up automatically. Don't think it's going to happen though. Head, if I was a neutral fan, I think scraping into the playoffs would be brilliant.
I think we'll be in it. We won't scrape it. We'll be in it.
I think that'd be brilliant. It's going to be I'm just buzzing to see the narrative of this season because it's just so exciting and that really spurs me on. Joe asks for Chris to answer.
Okay.
Would you rather Maddison...
Why me? Oh.
Or Pinto... Why me? Now you know. Would you rather Maddison or Pinto score a last-minute winner against Ipswich?
Oh my God, that actually makes me emotional. Oh my God.
What if either of them scored? What would you do?
If Maddison or Evo scored, in the 90th minute against Ipswich to win it?
The 3rd minute.
Shirts off, like literally topless, scarves going everywhere.
Right.
I'm pretty much... Well, we sit next to the wall anyway. You know what I did when... You know when Harrison Reed scored that absolute blinder, the onion bag splitter, as Michael Manson 93 said. You know what? I just do this weird thing now where I don't know if I'm getting older or whatever, but I can't take the just sheer ecstasy.
Yeah.
So I just kind of go, oh my God, I just can't believe it's happening. I think I'd certainly cry with happiness. The shirt would be off. Who would I rather it be?
So I'm just putting out here as well. Ipswich have had a good start to the season. They're in the playoffs. Playoff final against Ipswich.
Honestly, that's too much.
No,
seriously, I think I'd have a heart attack.
What a way to go that would be.
Oh, mate. I tell you what. Right. You know what? That's brilliant. That would be... You know what? Let's change the question. How would you most like to die as a Norwich fan? Right, let's answer the question. Maddison is an absolute boy, and I love him, and he'd go berserk. But no one, and I mean no one, reaches Ivo Pinto's passion for this football club. And honestly, you know what I think Pinto would do if he scored against Ipswich? I think he would literally rip his shirt in half, like from the front, rip it in half. He's in the snake pit. He's punching fans. fans punching him. Honestly, just the scenes. You know what? Can that just be our Talk Norwich City question of the week?
Yeah. Should we send them something?
Can we send them something?
What do you want?
What do you want? Tweet us. What do you want?
Joe, get in touch. Do you want anything? Let us know.
Okay. But by the way, oh my God, the scenes. I'd be so emotional. Who would you want to score in 90th minute against Ipswich?
You know what? Anyone.
No, don't. That's a cop-out answer.
It's not.
You've got one player that you want to score against Ipswich in the 90th... Oh my God. Hang on. Let me pitch this to you. Let me pitch this to you. Right. Madison's on the corner. Okay. He goes to take the corner from the Ipswich end, so he's getting booed. He's getting things chucked on him.
So we're down
It's getting tense. We're really... Yeah, of course we're up against the Barkley, you know. The Norwich fans, yellows.
We need to start shooting towards the Barkley second half, by the way.
Agreed, but that's always been a thing. The ball floats in, okay? But wait, someone's come up for the corner.
Bloody hell.
Do you know who's come for the corner?
Angus is up.
Angus Gunn comes up, and he leaps like a salmon, and he pops it home.
He leaps like the under-14 player.
Under-14 player. By the way, if you haven't watched the Matchday Experience from last weekend, watch it because it's hilarious for that. Anyway, Angus pops up, salmon, just bang, top bins. Oh my God, how flipping good would that be?
You know who I'm going for? Nelson Oliveira. Just because I think he would genuinely kill someone if he scored. I don't want anyone to die.
Oh my God.
But I think he would punch a ball boy.
I think it would cause some issues.
Yeah.
I think you'd have to have the security around him.
He would lose his head.
Oh, seriously, he would actually lose his head, wouldn't he?
So badly.
Oh, the scenes though, absolute limbs.
See, this is what I love in a Norwich fan.
Those moments are what you live for, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just the dream. It's just the dream.
Even when we scored against Villa, we had like people jumping on us from behind. It's just brilliant. Anyway, what a question. Sorry, we dragged that a bit, but that was a fantastic question.
So I would go for Nelson, but if I was to go Maddison or Pinto, I'd go Pinto. What away game would you recommend as a Norwich City fan living in Ireland who can only come over for one away game a year? Except for Ipswich, because I think Ipswich is the guaranteed one, but it's tough to get tickets for that one.
Oh, that's a hard question. You go.
I think if I'm coming over from Ireland and wanting to spend a weekend here, so I'm trying to think of a city. Sheffield's a lovely city. I'm really looking forward to Sheffield United.
Sorry, did you say an away game?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sheffield would be up there. Sunderland, the North East, that's always a good kind of trip.
We're losing Sunderland at their place.
Yeah, that's a Tuesday night as well. Ipswich would obviously be the obvious one. Burton is always a bit of a laugh.
You're not. No. We don't want to put them through that.
No, don't know.
Do not go to Burton.
London game, Millwall.
Forest is always quite good.
Forest is a good one.
Forest is good. Traditional football club.
This week. I'd probably say Sheffield United. You know.
Okay, Sheffield United.
Good atmosphere down there. Good city. Or Sheffield Wednesday. That is near the end of the season. Sheffield Wednesday.
Party atmosphere.
Could win the league there. Who knows? Sam asks, we've already touched on this, what is your opinion on the Nelson saga? Is he actually injured?
You know, but by the way, I'm actually quite enjoying this. I'm enjoying the saga. I'm enjoying the hype.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying Norwich fans knowing that they've got a weapon on the bench. An absolute weapon, mate. And a rocket launcher at that.
Bloody hell.
Seriously.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about it, under Alex Neil, we never had a plan B. Never, ever, ever did we have a plan B. Now, we've got a blooming good plan B. Blooming good one. And that excites me. And it should excite Norwich fans too. Yes, there's a bit of a thing going on, but let's face it, at the moment, he's coming on, and everything he touches turns to gold. So it's fine.
Yeah, is he injured? Probably. I don't think Farke's going to lie about it. I just love him.
We love Nelson, by the way. No one will ever slag off Nelson in front of me and Jack, ever.
You could do, but
we won't take it very well.
No, we won't.
Especially not on these pro-attrition.
Finally, let's end with Josh. How do Norwich fix their defence? It is a question. It is the $1 million question that no one has worked out.
No, I think we can break it down. I think first and foremost, you've got to start by protecting the defence, which sounds weird.
Yeah.
I think that the midfield I'm not saying the midfield needs to be defensive. I just mean that we can't be overrun like we did against Aston Villa ever again this season, because it was far too easy. Against QPR, because we had so much possession and we held the ball, the defence had more time to almost anticipate what was coming. Yeah. And then also they had time to back each other up. Against Villa, it was an absolute storm, constantly, all the time. We couldn't handle it.
I agree with the midfield. I think that's a huge part, and I think the way we're playing football this season, it makes it an even bigger part.
Yeah.
I think consistency, having the same players in there.
Yeah.
As a defender by trade, playing next to the same players, it feels more comfortable, better than having people coming in. And it's been tough at the moment because we've had injuries and we're still early doors in the season. So I would say a consistent backline, one that you're confident with, and I think Farke and Zimmerman are the centre-back pairing. I think Pinto's the right-back. The left-back is still up in air, but I'm not too sure. I'm sure it'll work out. So consistency, better midfield, and just being aggressive.
And husband needs to be
replaced.
replaced.
We being harsh for husband? I don't...
We keep asking ourselves, are we being harsh? Which I think is quite a nice thing that we're doing that. But I also think we need to show that we're being quite realistic, Jack.
Yeah. No, I think that's fair. Anything to add?
No, fine.
Right, so you're probably seeing this. The Charlton game might have already happened. Hopefully we're in the 4:15 a.m. round 3 draw of the Carabao Cup. And then Millwall. We will be at Millwall on Saturday. If you want to come and say hello, get on the matchday experience, have a fan camp,
do it.
Come and say hello. We always love that.
And by the way, let's create a better atmosphere than we did against Aston Villa.
Yeah.
It was disjointed, which I'll accept, but I think Millwall, we need to
do better.
Yeah, we need some scenes.
We can do better.
Bring the singing voices. Rest up this week.
Let's just have a good time and let's hope for a better week than last week. Chris,
we'll
see you
win.
in London.
3 points.
Bye-bye.